Hello, I'm Octavia Petrut for City Channel Pleasant Hill. For 41 years, the original Pleasant Hill Community Center served to improve the quality of life in Pleasant Hill. The center provided a place for all community members to come together, socialize, and engage in enriching classes and programs, as well as recreational activities and special events. The structure, however, began to deteriorate and ultimately required renovations. With the support of the community, we now have a new center. The legacy of the community center continues. So let's go inside and join the community partners in celebrating the new center. Can you tell me your name, please?
Hi, David Durant. Good evening.
Good evening. And what do you do?
Well, I'm a lawyer by training, but I'm on the Pleasant Hill City Council also.
Okay. So are you enjoying your night at the
So far, fantastic.
Yeah. What is your favorite feature of the building?
The fantastic entryway and that beautiful picture.
Yeah, the painting.
Yeah, the painting.
What do you look forward to most with this community center?
Oh boy. Let's see. Getting back to having community events here so this can continue to be a focal point of the community.
Hello, what is your name?
George Corrigan.
I have a question for you. Did you used to come to the old community center?
Yes, I did.
Yes? And
Yes.
what do you think of it now?
Well, it's gorgeous. It's been a long time coming. The old community center was falling apart because of dry rot, and I don't see any dry rot in here at all. So this is really wonderful. I think the favorite feature is it's all on one level, so that we don't have to go up and down like in the old community center, and that it's state of the art, energy efficient, disabled accessible. And I think it's going to serve the community well for many, many years.
I hope so.
And we've been looking forward to this for a long time. And
it's here.
Congratulations to the Rec and Park Board and their staff members and all those who participated in the development of this center.
My name is Sandy Bonato.
Sandy, did you used to come to the old community center?
Of course I did, yes.
Yes, and how is it now compared to back then?
Oh, there is no comparison. In loveliness, in comfort, in making people just feel at home here, there's no comparison.
What's your favorite part of the building?
The events room, the main event, the Pereira Pavilion, without a doubt.
Because?
It's open and beautiful. It reminds me of Yosemite with the trees outside and all the windows.
Yeah.
It's just a stunning, stunning view, and it's really beautiful.
What do you look forward to the most?
I look forward to a lot of parties here and a lot of people in the community coming to this community center and enjoying it in all kinds of ways.
Do you think it benefits the community?
Oh, I know it does.
Yeah?
I know it does. And that was the trust they gave us to build something so that they could come and have a place for community.
I'm here with Jim Nunes. Can you tell me how you are involved with the community?
Well, I was the chief of police for 17 years here in Pleasant Hill, and I'm involved with the Rotary Club and know Bob Bergman real well, and been involved with the Recreation Park District.
Did you used to go to the old community
We
center?
did, yes.
Yeah.
We had our Rotary meetings here, and so we congratulate the Rec and Park District on a beautiful building.
Yeah. How does it compare to the old one?
Oh, this is fantastic. Yeah. Really nice.
With this new community center, what do you look forward to the most?
Oh, I look forward to large gatherings that we might have here, and certainly our weekly meetings that we have, and so on. So it'd be real nice for the community to have this building.
I'm here with Chris Thomas. Mr. Thomas, can you tell me how you are involved with Pleasant Hill?
Actually, I do several things here. I'm with Bank of America, so my day job is to lend to small business owners. I also, with the chamber this year, I'm the president of the local chamber. I'm also in the Pleasant Hill Rotary, and I serve on a couple of the business groups with the city. So the Economic Development Committee. So I'm involved quite a bit actually these days.
I'd say so.
It's amazing. I got to find time for all these other things to do. So
you're here, aren't you? You're here.
Exactly. This is wonderful. I mean, the tour's been great. It's wonderful. It's a beautiful building. I can't wait to see that they can occupy it with all sorts of things, all the different schools and programs and all the things they've got going on here. So it's a wonderful addition to the community.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, why do you think this center is important for Pleasant Hill?
It's just another way that we can say, hey, Pleasant Hill is really here. We're really on the map. We're really doing great things for the community. With the senior center, with the teen center, now with the community center. It just shows that Pleasant Hill is really the center of everything. It's great.
I love that. I'm here with Allison and Rob. Can you two tell me how you are involved with Pleasant Hill?
I grew up in Pleasant Hill, and I've lived lived here my whole life, and I've been here for many weddings and watched my mom do jazzercise here growing up, and I went to College Park right across the way, so I love Pleasant Hill.
And you?
I went to Pleasant Hill schools, moved here in '54, so Pleasant Hill Elementary, Intermediate, High School, watched it close down. We're good friends with Bob Berggren and his wife and stuff, so that, though we live in Concord, we enjoy coming over here and enjoying this, seeing the old community center. I think they've done a fantastic job with this new one.
How would you compare the old center with this one, the new one?
It was a little rundown, but for me, it always had good memories. But it is amazing to see the difference. It's hard to even imagine where we walked in and where we are now in relation. But it's beautiful. They did a really good job.
We were here about, I don't know, less than a week ago, and there's no way we thought they'd have this thing done. And looking at it tonight, it's fantastic the way they finished everything off. I think it's, like Allison was saying, it's real open. It flows to the outside. It sort of invites people to come in and enjoy it.
I'm here with Tim Flaherty. Can you tell me how you are involved with Pleasant Hill?
I've been involved in a lot of organizations, but right now I have the privilege of serving as the mayor of Pleasant Hill this year.
Can you tell me about the community center now as opposed to how it used to be?
Well, the prior community center looked its age and looked dated. I think this building is timeless and beautiful. I had the privilege of serving on the planning commission during portions of the planning phases of this project, so I've eagerly awaited the final building. And the vision that was presented to us, the artistic renderings, the drawings, they really didn't do justice to the final product. It's beautiful, and the Park and Rec District should be commended.
Tell me why you think this center is important for the community.
Oh, I do. I think it's very important for every community to have a gathering place, and Pleasant Hill is lucky to have several, and this is just an additional gathering place, perhaps the jewel in our crown of Pleasant Hill. And I'm very grateful to the Rec and Park District for what they've done for the city.
I'm here with Gracie and Bob and Chase. Bob, can you tell me how you are involved with Pleasant Hill?
I am the current general manager of Pleasant Hill Recreation and Park District since 1987. Wow. As I say, I'm tired. I'm not retired, but we are pretty excited tonight at the opening here of the... oh, we got Eva. Come on, Eva in here. Sorry. Come on.
Hi, Eva.
Get Eva in. Okay, cool. We got Eva. We got them all in.
All
right. These are all my grandkids, so pretty excited. And we're right here in the Berggren lobby.
What do you look forward to the most?
Oh, people utilizing it. People having activities, fun, having weddings, having events, having classes, activities, dance classes. That's what it's all about. Pretty exciting tonight.
Why do you think this center is important for the community?
Community center is, of all the activities, everything that takes place here, social activities, and it's just where people come together. And community is a great definition of it. Community center. And the preschool rooms, of course, for you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the brand new Pleasant Hill Community Center. I do want to make sure you can hear. Lance, can you hear me back there? You can. Good. If you remember from the last, the old community center, one of the major complaints was the PA system. So we're testing this out. This is our first time using the PA system. But you can hear me in the back there, Lance, so you're okay? A little bit higher, Pat? Okay, a little bit higher, folks. We don't have the manual yet, so we're learning as we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure. I'm Bob Berggren, and General Manager of Pleasant Hill Recreation Park District, and we just want to recognize and honor some of the people that made this facility and our other facilities at the Teen Center, Senior Center, Community Center, and Pleasant Oaks Park all made this come together. We're very excited tonight to open up the brand new community center. So welcome. It is my privilege and honor right now to introduce our board chair, Sherry Sterrett. And as she's coming forward, just to give her a little background here, Sherry was a member of the Mount Diablo Unified School District Board from 1980 to 1987. She was on the Pleasant Hill City Council from 1987 to 1995. She's been on the board of Pleasant Hill Recreation and Park District since 1996. And she's served as the board chair. This is the 5th time she's served as our board chair. She's also a former president of the California Special Districts Association that represents all special districts up and down the state of California. So at this time, it's my privilege, to introduce our board chair, Sherry Sterrett.
Well, what can I say? I think if you stick around long enough and you do enough things in your community, you get a few introductions like that. So thank you very much. Good evening and welcome. Well, the building has been open 45 minutes. What do you think? Do you remember the old community center? We had lots of great events there, but now look around. Take a moment. Take in the sights, take in the smells, the warmth of the decor. This is going to be a great building, and we look forward to many, many more wonderful events here. You know, this project began in 2009 with the passage of Measure E. 76% of the district voters voted that they would tax themselves to fund 4 projects: the Teen Center, the new Senior Center, the sports complex at Pleasant Oaks Park, and this wonderful community center. Now, Webster defines the word building as something that is built for human habitation. Wikipedia says the building is a man-made structure with roof and walls standing more or less permanently in one place. Since this place is much more than a building, I Googled the word community center. Their definition was a meeting place used by members of a community for social, cultural, educational, and recreational purposes. So on that definition, we definitely have a new community center in Pleasant Hill. It's been an incredible journey to get this building built. The facility will be something that we will be able to enjoy for years to come. Now, when I say it was an incredible journey, I don't mean it was a problem. It was a learning experience. I learned more about construction than I ever knew my whole life. So I can now read, as I've been told, they're not blueprints, but I can read some blueprints, I can read some designs, I know a little bit of the language, and I say I mean the board. We went through this together with our general manager, and it was great. The end result, of course, is this building tonight, and we're very happy. The board of directors would like to thank a number of folks for their efforts on behalf of the district. We want to start with the voters and the residents. We want to thank our general manager. We want to thank all the district staff and the major donors, for they work together as a team to make this a very special building. At this time, I would like to introduce the current board of directors. You've already heard that it's my pleasure to serve as chair this year. My vice chair is Sandy Bonanno. Sandy, stand up, would you? Sandy, you've been asked to come up. Zach Hess, where is Zach? Come forward, Zach. He's our secretary. Board member Dennis Donahue and board member Bobby Glover will come forward. Together, the 5 of us represent your elected officials for the Park District. Tonight, joining us are some past board members. I'd like to have stand in recognition for Cecile Shepard. Cecile in the back. Oh, there's Cecile. Joe Hurd. Joe, we talked with him tonight. Peggy Blake. Peggy Blake, over there. Paul Bonner. Is Paul here? Paul. Karen Morrell. Karen. Tom McHale. Where is Tom? We know Tom's here. And while he's not a board member, we're always happy to include a former general manager, Ted Winslow. Ted. Now, I pretty much planned to wrap it up at this point, but I met someone tonight that I think you all should know. Her name is Helen Bergman, Bob's mother. It is her birthday, and she's 95 years old. Happy birthday, Helen. So I want to thank you all all very much for coming tonight. The board welcomes you, and we hope that you enjoy for many, many years your new community center. Thank you.
We've got some special people that we'd like to introduce at this time, and I'm asking the board of directors to stay up here, and we're going to do some photo ops too after we do this. These introductions, but we're pleased tonight to have Senator Mark DeSaulnier. Mark, come on up here, Mark.
Oh, sorry, I forgot Sherry. That's a big mistake. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for inviting me. I represented Pleasant Hill for a long time in local government and in the legislature, but I actually don't represent you right now. In the last year, since I ceased representing you, you've actually got a lot accomplished, so maybe that's but I am here on behalf of my seatmate in the legislature who does represent you, Lois Wolk of Davis. Redistricting did a funny little thing that they came down here. But I know that she's delighted and happy to represent you and should be thrilled to be here, but she wanted me to convey her congratulations. And for me, having spent some memorable moments in the old building, it's really amazing to come back and see what you've done with this. And for the voters to see what you've done with the youth center, the senior center, and now this center, it's really quite an accomplishment. So congratulations. Thank you for having me here, and hopefully someday soon I'll represent you again.
I didn't see, did Beverly Lane make it from East Bay Regional Park District? Did she? Beverly, wait, come on up here, Beverly. I just wanted to say a little bit about, as Sherry said, we passed a bond measure for $28 million for the people here at Pleasant Hill, tax themselves. And, you know, I think our good neighbor or mayor from Walnut Creek's here. I don't mean to offend Walnut Creek, but I always told the board that, you know, the city of Lafayette put in a beautiful new state-of-the-art library for $35 million. And city of Walnut Creek, they built a beautiful, again, state-of-the-art, up-to-date, $40 million library. And as we're trying to hustle and, you know, work the budget, we had $28 million for a new teen center, beautiful senior center, now this amazing community center, and 11.5-acre sports park. So pretty amazing for $28 million. And I know you're going to introduce, I'll be introducing the architect and the contractor and the project manager, and they all said they've lost money on it, and we squeezed them, I know, but I do have to confess that we didn't make it for $28 million. But that's where Beverly Lane and East Bay Regional Park District comes in. We were fortunate to be able to use their WW measure funds to offset the cost, because we're over $29 million, but we're able to utilize East Bay Regional Park District's WW fund. So Beverly, on behalf of the district, thank you very much, and thanks for coming here tonight. Appreciate it. I would like to introduce Mayor Tim Flaherty is here. Tim, come on up. We have the receiving line over here.
Thank you. I won't take much time. I had the pleasure of serving on the Planning Commission some years ago and was involved in some of the planning phases for part of this project. And I've eagerly awaited to see how the schematics, the drawings, the artistic renderings would eventually turn out. We all shared in the vision of our civic partner here, the Rec and Park District, and I got to tell you, wow, what a room, what a building. The schematics, the drawings did not do justice for what we're experiencing tonight. And so on behalf of the City of Pleasant Hill, on behalf of all of the citizens who supported and paid for this project, I want to thank the Rec and Park District. Definitely want to give recognition to the board, present and past, for their stewardship on this project, and thank you very much. also want to introduce my compatriots on the City Council. Vice Mayor Ken Carlson, why don't you come on up and Councilmember David Durant, Councilmember Jack Weir, and Councilmember Michael Harris. And since I still have the microphone, I do also want to give recognition to the city staff that shepherded this project through the planning phase and gave assistance to the Rec and Park District. They did an outstanding job.
Thank you, Mayor. Very pleased to introduce Dr. Joe Ovick, Superintendent of the Concosta Office of Education. Dr. Ovick, thank you. And with Joe is Karen Sakata, who's the Deputy Superintendent. Karen, just wave your hand. Good, thanks. From the Contra Costa Water District that we work with in this project as well, the board member John Berg. John, wait, where? John. We have some folks here tonight from the California Special Districts Association, and I want to introduce the immediate past president, Stan Caldwell. You Stan. And also from the CSDA staff, we have Megan Hemming, Catherine Lemaire, and Monica Greenberg up here in front. The reason I mentioned the CSDA, that we really appreciate working with them in we had the bond project, but we also had a major efforts in getting furniture, fixtures, the FF&E, the capital project, and we actually got a loan through CSDA to be able to buy these tables and chairs and everything. We need to pay that back, but thank you CSDA for that. From the Community College District Board, Matt Wren. Matt, can I see Matty? He's got a meeting. What? He's got a meeting tonight, okay. Is Walnut Creek Mayor Christina Lawson, did she make it? She RSVP'd, but I don't see her. In the front here, stand up, Tim Berry. Stand up, Tim. He's general manager for Livermore Area Recreation Park District, but he's also vice president, going to be president of the California Parks and Recreation Society. Well, welcome, Tim. I also wanted to segue into that because if you've been to the senior center, you know how beautiful that building is, and that building just recently was awarded, well, we're going to get it in March, but it's been selected as an outstanding facility statewide in the California Parks and Recreation Society. That includes all special districts, cities, counties, so we're very excited to receive that award for the Pleasant Hill Senior Center. And speaking of the Pleasant Hill Senior Club, president is Dick Savage. Dick is here, so Dick, stand up. Dick, there he is. Thank you, Dick. I do want to point out to someone from the senior board and Dagny Benz. Can you stand up, Dagny, right there? I see you out there. Stand up. Now wait a minute. Just hold on. Now Dagny, before we opened the new senior center, she was the secretary, but then she changed to membership chair. Well, what happened when we opened the new senior center? We went from 1,600 members to 3,400 members. Dagny had to process all those people. So thank you, Dagny, for I know in the Pleasant Hill Rotary Club we call it the Dumb Stunt of the Week Award, but no, we really needed that help. Hey, from the Pleasant Hill Chamber of Commerce, we've got Chairman Joe Stokely. Joe, I saw Joe. Where'd he go? Joe around? How about the president now of Pleasant Hill Chamber of Commerce, Chris Thomas. Chris, in the way back. Thanks, Chris. And I did see, representing the Contra Costa Supervisor, County Supervisor Karen Mitchoff, who will be here on Sunday, But Chief of Staff Kirsten Conley. Did I see her hand? She's in the back? No? Okay. All right, now we're going to introduce some other people here that had major doings with all our projects, and I'm introducing our Vice Chair, Sandy Bonato, and she'll do some additional introductions.
I know many of you watched a football game on Sunday, probably the second one, right? And so you know there's something called the 12th man. 12th man in Seattle is just a bunch of noise as far as I can tell. But our Pleasant Hill Recreation Park District, our board, our staff, believe that there is a 12th man for us as well. And that 12th man is our public, is our voters, who trusted us with $28 million to build facilities like this for Pleasant Hill. And we are just absolutely indebted to them for that. With that trust, however, comes accountability. And as a result of the vote, the board appointed a bond oversight committee, a group of extraordinarily dedicated people who for the last 3.5 years, and their job is not done yet, for the last 3.5 years have held meetings, looked at documents, visited sites, you name it, they did it, all silently, out of the view of the public. All of their reports are on our website, and we're extraordinarily proud of the work that these people did on your behalf and on the behalf of all of our public. I would like to now introduce the members of our Bond Oversight Committee. And if you would stand when I call your name, and then hold your applause until we have everybody standing. I'd like to acknowledge everybody, whether they're here or not. We have Norm Van Hol, the chair of this committee from the very beginning. I didn't see Norm tonight. I don't know if he is here. We have Leo Vargas. Leo Vargas and the next person I'm going to introduce were very instrumental in reviewing all of our finances for the last 3.5 years. Along with Leo is Harold Jeffrey, who teamed up in a subcommittee with Leo. We have Marie Simons, who is the secretary of our Bond Oversight Committee and kept all these people in order for a long, long time. We have Frank Gorham, who I don't know is here this evening, also with the soccer folks, Lisa Hagopian, and Aaron Hurst. If you'd join me now in a warm thank you to these very, very good citizens of ours. Thank you very much from all of us at the Park District.
Thank you, Sandy. Another key player in our projects here is the Pleasant Hill Community Foundation, and I'd like them to stand as I call their name. The Pleasant Hill Community Foundation handled close to $800,000 because of all the fundraising that we took part in. Again, the bond was a general obligation bond, and it could only pay for the walls and the ceilings and the roof and any of the tables or anything you're sitting on. We had to raise funds for that, and so we were able to utilize the services of the Pleasant Hill Community Foundation so that you can make a donation and have tax credit for it. So I just want to introduce these folks. They also have a booth out front in the Burger and Lobby. Yeah. Anyway, the current president right now, Ted Winslow. Stand up, Ted. Vice President. Stand up, Ted. You can stand up still. I know you. Vice President Betty Cantrell. Stand up, Betty. Wave. Secretary Yvonne Cerisa. Yvonne. Stand up. She's in the way back. Marion Woodard. Marion, thank you over there. Aloma Levine. Aloma, good. Jim Utz. Stand up, Jim. Thank you. Jim News, stand up. Adrian Rowe, Adrian. Cool. Giles Miller. Giles is here. Wendy Kimura Stager. Pastor Wendy Ware. She here, and did I already say Jim Nunes? I did, I think. I got you twice, Jim. Anyway, this is the Pleasant Hill Community Foundation, and the district appreciates your efforts. Thank you very much. A couple of key people in this community center here. I'd like to introduce the architect, principal from the Dahlin Group, Carl Danielson. Carl, can you come on up here? We're pretty excited about the Dahlin Group and the design they did here at this facility, and we worked hard with them for many years, and we're really pleased with this outcome. So Carl's going to introduce his staff at this time. So Carl, congratulations.
Thank you. 4 years. Doesn't seem like a day over 10. First of all, I got to thank the board. This is an arduous task for most boards to undertake. It's a lot of construction, a lot of detail, a lot of effort, and quite frankly, you're a pleasure to work with. So through all of that, you know, we got it done. So thank you. Yeah, I get credit for being the architect only because I signed the drawings, but actually the credit really goes to the team that put it together. First of all, Stephanie Fujimura, she's the glue that holds it all together. Stand up, Steph. Come on. Rich Voss, who was the project architect, day to day, literally. He was here 4 hours ago with the fire marshal, trying to see if we could get in tonight. So, and then last, Mario Aiello, the creative genius, who all the fit and finish. So, thank you guys, and for us, this is the best part: seeing people enjoy what we actually put on paper and have it become a reality. So, thank you.
Carl, hang on a second. We want to get a couple shots with the board. Thank you. Our contractor, DL Falk. Nick Schmidt is the superintendent, and Nick at this time is going to come up and... Come on. Nick's going to introduce some of his staff that are here tonight, right? Just for an explanation, we pushed hard with the architect, the contractor, project manager. We're probably still, you might notice, you might not have, but we're still a couple of weeks away from completing everything, but we're going to get there. But I just want to say thank you to Nick and his staff for, you know, all of a sudden we had people crawling all over this building, crawling all over each other the last couple of weeks. But Nick, thank you, and chance to...
Thank you. You know, I gotta say, we're in here last minute trying to bump things up, make it nice and pretty for everybody tonight. I hope we did a good job. We got Linnea Bennett, the project coordinator for this project here. Greg Schmidt, the PM for this project. Go ahead and wave your hands. Everybody say hi. You know, this was an awesome design of a building, and we really couldn't have made it happen without such support from the architects. It really turned out to be a beautiful building. You know, I gotta say the contractors really made it come alive though. Thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight.
You have the mic now, right? Thanks, Nick. And I'd like to introduce Ron Johnson, president of Critical Solutions Incorporated, CSI, who's been our project manager ever since, 2010. And Ron just feels like he's part of the staff. And anyway, we appreciate their efforts. And Ron, if you could introduce some of your staff.
Thank you, Bob. Maybe I'll just have my staff that are here stand up, and then make sure I... Is Eileen here? I haven't seen Eileen. Was she? Well, first I'd like to introduce the construction manager, Alan France. He's working on this project from a big part of it to help bring it in and get the work completed. Gordon Johnson, the project engineer, he also spent a lot of time. He's been helping behind the scenes, back in the office for this entire project, not only this project, but the senior center, teen center, the park project. He's been really behind the scenes working on master CPM schedules and making sure that we try to stay on schedule the best we can. And then Ken, he's new to our team. He's been working on the project on this specific project for about the last 6 months. He's done a really nice job. So thank you guys. I'll turn it back to you.
Thanks, Ron. I did want to shout out a couple people here too. That district attorney should be here, but I haven't seen him yet. But did Mark Cornelius get in here? Did you see him? Anybody? Well, anyway, he is our attorney. And also, I see in the back, Bill McInerney has helped us out, a construction expert attorney. So thank you, Bill, for coming tonight. Hamid Sarvi. Hamid, stand up. Where's Hamid? Wave. Thank you, Hamid. He started us before even Rob Johnson was here. Helped us as a part-time project manager and helped us select the CSI team as well. I saw Dixon Kaiser, right? Dixon, our sign people in the very back. Dixon, thank you. By the way, the monument signs are still a couple weeks away. That will be out here in Taylor and in front, and there's a few more signs that will be coming up, but they'll be here in the near future. Dick Alcina, landscape specialist, who did the senior center, but also helped us here at the community center. I saw him earlier, but Dick, thanks for coming, man. Bernice was down here earlier, but Bernice Gross is the, oh, she's right here. Stand up, Bernice. She's the artist that did the wonderful painting as you come in the lobby. Bernice, thanks for coming out from Berkeley tonight. And I saw Richard Miller earlier. Ante does all the computer stuff. Richard Wave over there. Thank you. Our IT guy. Thank you. Mayor Tim introduced city staff. June, we wanted to shout out also our city manager, June Catalano. June Wave in the very back. I saw city engineer Mario Marino. Mario is right here. Thank you, Mario, for coming. Martin Nealis, is Martin still here or did he have to take off? Is Martin public information? He's got, well, anyway, he was here, but thank you. I do want to say before we get into actually our most important part of the program, by the way, if you haven't been introduced, just go ahead and stand up and we'll introduce you at some point. Thank you, Bernie. I do want to introduce some key district staff members. And so first, if they could get ready here, I'm going to go with Carrie Miller, then Tom Bradley, then Tina Young. So Carrie, if you could come up first as our... Carrie is our building maintenance supervisor, but she's for this project been our bond coordinator. Some of you have followed our website every Monday. There's a whole report of pictures, and Carrie does that. But also Carrie has worked really hard with the project manager, the architect, and everybody to, in the contractor, of course, to make this project go on. And she's going to be also in charge of all, well, she's in charge of the building maintenance at Teen Center, Senior Center, and then here too. Carrie's going to introduce her staff, Carrie.
Well, actually, I'd like to thank all of the building maintenance and custodial staff, but only 3 of them are here. So there's, somebody wave your hand, Matt Andrade. Oh, I can't see him. Okay. Raul Orgozo. And Nico Ross. guys rock.
Thanks, Gary. But anyway, the maintenance staff is in the blue shirts, and they're around. They've been fabulous today, especially the last few weeks. Of course, they've been terrific at the senior center, and they're going to be terrific here. So we just wanted to do a shout out for them. Tom Bradley and the park maintenance crew, and just got to understand that, of course, as I said earlier, we were tight on the budget and everything. The whole landscaping here got pulled out of the contractor's contract, and the landscaping was done in-house by our park supervisor, men and women. So Tom is going to be.
I'd like to thank everybody on my crew who's in the back there, as well as, let me just start by naming them. Sorry, the lights are bright. I'm not used to this sort of thing. So, anyways, we start off, I see Charles Hurtado, Ernie Lazarin, Danny Barrero, Duke Rapazzaro, Lino Molina, Mark Kiefer, you're back there somewhere. Amanda Botsford couldn't be here tonight, but she's been a big part of it. Yeah, and then we have Joey David, who was a big help and stuff. He's actually the pool guy in the aquatics department. But he spent all his extra time helping us out getting it done, so thank you very much. And I hope there's nobody I'm forgetting. There's a bunch of y'all. So, Ernie Lazarin. Anyways, they were all great. Everybody pushed really hard. And amongst doing their regular jobs, been over here planting and installing irrigation. And we appreciate their help a lot. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Even the last couple of weekends, they've been out here on Saturdays and Sundays, and even on Martin Luther King Day, Saturday, Monday. So thank you very much for all those not only efforts, but extra efforts to get this building ready. Tina Young, come on up here, Tina. Tina Young is the recreation superintendent, and she'll also be located at this this facility. Her office, if you want to go write things on her desk or something, is in the back there.
I should have put a notepad.
But we're really happy with Tina's efforts, and she's going to introduce some of the key staff also that are here tonight.
Wow, we've got a lot of staff here tonight. It's been 4 years of a number of staff working their tail off. Everything from our clerical staff to our front office staff, referring everybody on the phone, trying to find different locations for people, helping all of the supervisors out. And I know Susie Kubota is here, if I can see her. Susie Kubota is here on that staff that has really kept our offices going. We've got our communications department here with Andy O'Neill and Jen Thoits. Please wave. That are helping to make sure that we get our information out to everybody and has been trying to get everything out for the last 4 years as we've been relocating to places like St. Andrew's Church, Pacheco Center, Hillcrest Church, a number of locations. So thank you to them. We have our recreation staff with Corey Riley, our aquatic supervisor, and Kendra Luke, our senior services supervisor over there, and Katrina Hunn, our team supervisor. Oh my goodness, and there's a number. Tally Pitcher, our aquatics coordinator. All of these people have been involved in all of these 4 bond projects to make everything work. And they have all of their other jobs that they're doing every day, but they're also trying to help out, figure out what we're going to do while we're going back and forth to different facilities. So also Ryan Harriman, our newest addition to our rental department, that's been very busy with all of our new facilities. And then we've got our preschool staff that has been relocated and relocated and re-relocated. and have been quite the troopers to hang in there as we've been displaced. And that's Tina Fitzsimmons is here tonight. Please raise your hand. Jan Tola, raise your hand. And Nancy Whiting, raise your hand. And thank you to the preschool director, Aurora Pereira, to try to keep them happy as she tries to smile and say we're almost going to be somewhere else. We also have Holly Freitas over here with the Senior Services. Thank you, Holly. And Lance Hurtado back there, our sports supervisor that's there for us whenever we need him. And then we do have Mark Blair. Thank you to Mark Blair, who keeps us all on our toes, our county supervisor, who doesn't let us do much. So did I miss anybody? Kendra. I got Kendra. So thank you, everybody, for everything. And we're all going to get to a different space soon.
Okay. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, staff. Outstanding staff from Pleasant Hill Recreation Park. Appreciate their efforts. As I said earlier, this is the section here is our most important part of the program to introduce our donors tonight. That's who we're honoring. And so I just want to say first that we're just going to start with the Teen Center. Again, thank you to the Seroptimus International Diablo Vista that we named the snack bar after them. Critical Solutions, Ron Johnson and his group did the conference room at the Teen Center. The Control Road Brooks family did the game room at the Teen Center, and the Hedco Foundation bought furniture at that site. At the Senior Center, Tom and Ruby McDonald did the Chateau room. The Pleasant Hill Senior Club was a major donor. Ted and Susie Winslow are here tonight. I see Susie too. Ted, Susie Wade up there. The Coffee Lounge at the Senior Center. The Moriguchi family, Richard is here tonight. Richard, right? Moriguchi, where's Richard? Way right there, back. Richard, we missed you at the Senior Center, but thank you. It's got the Moriguchi lobby at the Senior Center. Sandy and Mark Bernoullis have the Arts and Crafts room there. Marshall Rittner, the CC Cafe Kitchen. And again, the Seroptimus International Diablo Vista with the coffee bar. I do want to do a shout out to Pleasant Oaks Park. That's our last project that we'll be having an open house there March 2nd. But we won't be doing a VIP, but I do want to just make mention of the Pleasant Hill Baseball Association that named the field, and also our own Bobby Glover that named the field. Thank you. Now at this time, and our board chair, Sherry, can you help me with this one? We're going to start with the major donors here at the Community Center. And we start in this room right here, the Pereira Pavilion. Okay, so get used to it. That's the name. Aaron, Ron and Rupert, could you come forward? All right. We really appreciate their generosity, extreme generosity. Thank you, Rupert, Ron. Rupert's going to do, we're going to do a flow quick, but I did want you to have an opportunity to introduce your family members here. While they're doing that, I'll introduce Gracie. Wave, Gracie, my granddaughter, good there. Chase, you wave. It's my party, and well, no. Rupert, come on up here, okay? And Ron, thank you very much.
Thank you. So Erin and I would like to introduce our immediate family attending this event. We have our two sons, Chami and Nissan on that corner, with our daughter-in-laws, Sonali, Marcel, and our latest addition to the Pereira family, Hadley Pereira, is over there. She's waving. Yeah. You know, this chapter of our life started about mid-80s. We moved from Washington, D.C. to Northern California when children were preschool at kindergarten age, when I accepted a job from Berkeley Labs. We didn't know anybody in this area. So driving around with the real estate agent to find a home, we came to a very attractive area. And I asked her, where are we? She said, Pleasant Hill. So then we both said, interesting, this is a true story. We said, this must be really a good place to raise a family. So Chami and Nissan grew up in Pleasant Hill, played soccer for many years. And for many years, I was known as the Coach Rupert, and she was Teacher Era. But interesting thing, currently, none of us family members live in Pleasant Hill. But our hearts are still here. So Iran and I are blessed to have this ability to support this community. Thank you, Pleasant Hill, for the wonderful memories. And please use this facility as your own.
By the way, we still have some naming opportunities out there if you're so interested. Hey, my other granddaughter, I didn't see her, but now I do see her. Evangeline, hey, wave, Evangeline, good, thank you. She pointed out that I always forget someone to so. The events lobby, which is this area right over here that people will be utilizing, especially brides and weddings and so forth, is named in honor of Pleasant Hill Lions Club, Don Flaskerud. Don, will you come up? We really appreciate the efforts of the Lions Club in a variety of community events, and Don is representing the Pleasant Hill Lions Club of Pleasant Hill. Don, you want to do a quick shout out to your rest of your Lions? Don? No, you're just.
I didn't realize I had to speak, actually. It only took about 30 minutes here, if it's okay. Again, the Pleasant Hill Lions Club, we're really proud to help the community and help Park and Rec build this wonderful building. We've had many crab feeds here in the old building, and we're looking forward to this new building. Thank you very much, and nice job done.
Thank you, Don. The front courtyard is Pleasant Hill Rotary Club, and the president is Michael Sines. Michael is, you guys hang out in the back of the room. Michael's coming forward representing Pleasant Hill Rotary Club. Oh, nice hustle. It's really fun, and that was part of Carl Daniels, the architect. We have kind of what he calls a front yard out there, so it's kind of fun to have an entry courtyard as you come into this building, and it's spectacular. You'll have to come back and see it during the day, but really pleased to have the front courtyard, and thank you to Pleasant Hill Rotary Club. Michael, you want to say anything, or you want to say a shout out to the rest of the...
Well, I'm just fortunate enough to be one of 50 Rotarians in this room, so if you're here tonight, please raise your hand. Woo! Yeah, Rotarians, good job. We're very honored to be able to be a part of this, and we look forward to participating in many events here over the years. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Michael. One of the classrooms, and again, thank you to the Seroptimist International of Diablo Vista. Sue Hickman is president. Sue is going to come on up here. And again, the Seroptimists, we just want to thank them because they named something in every one of our buildings, the teen center, the senior center, and now here they have a classroom at the community center. And Thank you, Sue, and the Seroptimists.
Seroptimus International of Diablo Vista is very pleased to have been able to be part of this wonderful project. The facilities are gorgeous, and I'm sure there will be many years of wonderful use for the community.
Thank you, Sue. Another one in the classrooms back there is the Public Services Room, and Tim Argente and Susan Earl. Where are they? Tim and Susan. Come on up. We're actually real excited that they changed their name again, so it wasn't the Allied Waste Room, but you know, we would have gone with it, you know. But I mean, Public Services does a lot better.
Thank you. Well, just a brief couple of words. The good news is that we were able to contribute to this beautiful community center. The bad news is I had to raise all your garbage rates.
Thanks, Tim. Just recycle, recycle, recycle. That's, we have an events lobby court going on here that is now called the Pleasantville High School Rams Plaza. We have a few of the Rams out here, and we give you a shot. Stand up for the Pleasantville Rams. Where are they? Come on. Randy, Bob, Dwayne, Michael, Jared, Chris, Rob, thanks for coming. Bruce, thank you. We don't have the plaque yet done, but we have a copy of it out here. But there's the Rams Plaza that is right out here in honor of Pleasantville High School. The other high school that was here, Bobby, is, I didn't wear my leather sweater that I was almost going to. Harold Jeffrey, Hal Jeffrey, come on up here. He did the playground area in the back. Thank you, Hal. Hal Jeffrey named the playground in honor of Joan Jeffrey, so we really appreciate that. Hal and Harold has also been on the, as you know, on the Bond Oversight Committee. So thank you, Hal. Thank you very much. And one of the benches out front, Councilmember Michael Harris and Don Block. They can come forward. We do one of the benches. Thank you. As they are getting their photo, what happened to you? Oh, thanks, you're okay. As they're getting their photo, I'll also announce that the next patio bench too was Sandy and Jim Bonato. Jim and Sandy, thank you very much, Michael and Don. And Jim, you come up forward and. On deck here, we're going to, Ryan, get ready here now, because this is where we're going to have just a short video of the progression of the Pleasantville Community Center. So we'll be turning the lights down a little bit and starting the video. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you, Kendra Lou, Carrie Miller, and Tina Young, putting together that video. That was fun. Thank you. At this time, Tina Young's going to acknowledge our VIP sponsors for tonight's event. I do want to also recognize Lynn Spatz. Lynn, where's Lynn Spatz? Way in the back, way again. Lynn's our project coordinator for the Pleasant Oaks Park project. He's also our former park superintendent, but doing an amazing job with the last project up here is at Pleasant Oaks Park. There will be grand opening is March 2nd at 2 o'clock. That's a Sunday, and if you haven't got a chance to get by, there's amazing. The Pleasant Oaks Park looks terrific, so hope you get a chance to get there. The ribbon cutting this Sunday is 1:45, and then we open the doors at 2 o'clock for the grand opening of the public. Tina, you're going to introduce some of the thank yous for tonight's event. We want to thank the people that donated all the food and wine.
Yes, thank you for everybody coming tonight, and also Wilma Lott Catering. I don't know if Bob Lott is around here, but I really want to thank Bob Lott and Wilma Lott Catering for being with us for years and years here at the community center, and they will be coming back, and they've been great working with us for years. So thank you very much for all of the appetizers you this evening were provided by Wilma Lott Catering. Dave's Cuisine was here with the desserts. Thank you, Dave. And of course, everyone was able to enjoy the wine tonight. I don't know if we finished it all, but thank you very much to Carrera Vineyards and Fenestra Winery and Kinders for coming here tonight to provide the wine for us. Thank you to all of you. And Water Logic, Mike Maxwell, thank you very much for bringing the coffee to us tonight. Thank you. Thank you very much. And C&M Party Props provided all of our linens and have been great to support us at our events here in Pleasant Hill. And the Musical Heartstrings. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the music tonight. That was Musical Heartstrings. And if you would like a business card of theirs, we do have it at our district booth if anyone is interested. And Pleasant Hill Florist is here, had brought some flowers for us tonight, so thank you to Pleasant Hill Florist. And the City of Pleasant Hill, thank you, TV. Larry Hunt and his crew here with the TV, and all of you, thank you very much. So, thank you to all of you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up for us. Right, Tina? Do I have anything else? Thank you for your patience. And we're still touring the facilities. So enjoy and have a great evening. Thank you again for coming tonight. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
That's all for tonight at the VIP reception. The gala opening has been very successful. We'll be back with the ribbon cutting and a grand open house. See you there.